Good evening, everyone. We'll call this regular meeting of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, May 9th, to order. Would like to ask Daniel Beard from Action Church of East Ridge to come forward, lead us in our invocation and our pledge. Everyone rise, please.
Shall we pray? Heavenly Father, Creator of the universe, God, we come to you right now. And I ask, God, that you just bless this meeting and the agenda that's set before us, God. God, may we get through it swiftly, but also, God, may we also pay attention to the details that we need to know about, God, tonight. God, I pray, God, that tonight your blessing continue to be upon this council and our mayor. And God, may that blessing also be upon our new hired city manager, as well as our assistant city manager, God. God, I pray, God, that every pioneer and every resident in East Ridge, God, would just continue to not only celebrate the forward progress that I believe the city's making, God, but do chip in and do their part and be a part of making East Ridge a great place to live for our families. And I give you praise tonight. In Jesus' name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Roll call, please, Ms. Coral.
Mayor Williams.
Here.
Vice Mayor Hamilton. Here. Councilmember Cagle.
Here.
Councilmember Chauncey.
Here.
Councilmember Williams. Here. City Manager Dorsey.
Here.
City Attorney Richmond.
Here. First item we want to do a special presentation. We've had a business in our city for 30 years. It's been a staple for us. It's provided excellent food and great service, and it definitely deserves recognition, and we appreciate everything that Glenn has put forth in our city and his family. So we'd like for him and his family to come forward, and if the council would come down, please. So, we would like to honor you and Wally's with this proclamation. City of East Ridge proclamation of Wally's Restaurant. Whereas on May 8th, 2019, Wally's Restaurant, located at 6521 Ringgold Road, celebrated 30 years in business in the city of East Ridge. And whereas Lynn Meadows, the owner of Wally's, began his restaurant career working for Tony Kennedy at Wally's on Macaulay Avenue during his high school and college days. And whereas in 1989, Mr. Meadows, in partnership with Mr. Kennedy, leased the Old Country Place restaurant in East Ridge and changed the name to Wally's. And whereas in 1999, Mr. Meadows purchased the property where the restaurant sat, and in 2000 demolished it and built a new Wally's, that is the Wally's we know and love today. And whereas Wally's has become a staple in East Ridge by providing exceptional food and outstanding service, and has successfully operated over the last 30 years in an area where other restaurants have come and gone. Now, therefore, I, Brian Williams, Mayor of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, do hereby proclaim May 8th, 2019 as Wally's Day. Again, we can't tell you how much we appreciate you. It was a great day. You had a celebration, I believe it was completely packed most of the day. I was heard standing outside and wrapped around. We appreciate you and hope your success for many, many more years. All right, we'll move into item 4, our consent agenda, which will be the approval of the minutes of April 11th, 2019 agenda work session, the approval of the minutes of April 11th regular council meeting, the approval of March 2019 financial report, and declaration of surplus property. I assume everyone's had a chance to read over the minutes, and do we have any questions or a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve.
I second.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Hilton, we have a second from Council Member Witt. Is there any discussion? Roll call, Ms. Walls.
Vice Mayor Hamilton,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Item 5 is communication from citizens. I don't know if we even have that. It's okay. We'll work through it. So this is an opportunity for any citizen or business owner within the city to come forward, bring any questions, concerns to the council, and we'll have 5 minutes. And I should move that back, I'm sorry. If you'll give us your name and address.
Sure. My name is Jane Sharp. I live at 6112 Schofield Avenue in Lansdale Park. And I'm here not to complain yet. We live on just off of Spring Creek Road. And we are already seeing a tremendous increase in traffic that relates to the construction work that's being done on I-75 and 24. Anyone who lives in Chattanooga or the surrounding area knows that when traffic is backed up on the freeway that they can get off, come through East Ridge, and by going to exit 1, they can avoid the traffic tie-ups that are there. With a wonderful announcement of the development that's going to be going in just off of Spring Creek Road, there I have serious concerns about the increase of traffic that's going to take place. Now, I'm sure somebody has thought about this, but I don't know who it is, and I would like to get some kind of sense of what kind of improvements we can expect to see on Spring Creek Road, because we have both a school and a hospital, and with ambulances coming in and out. I have some concerns that there might be lives that are in jeopardy if we cannot solve the congestion that's going to be pronounced with the development project and the construction that's going on at those intersections. So I'll be back.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else?
Charles McCullough, 1214 Reeves Avenue. First of all, welcome, Mr. Dorsey, and Kenny, thanks for filling in. I think everybody here is real impressed with the job you did, so thank you. I just wanted to express concerns about the development agreement regarding the new extended stay hotel. I'm not going to outright speak against it, but given the issues we've had with the Waverly and Superior Creek, that's now the budget element, we're still having the same problems, and the Cascades and everything else. I just hope y'all give thought to that before you approve this.
Thank you, sir. I too have concerns over extended stays, as we've had bad taste in our mouth with those. I personally council will decide later in the meeting whether it's approved or not, but I think it is a different type, a different caliber extended stay. If you look at the Candlewood property, it's a flag that's respected through IHG. Also, I think the incentive agreement says it has to remain that flag. We inserted that, or a equivalent flag, to ensure the quality of that property. Anything?
To ensure that remains.
Yes. Is anyone else?
Greg Shipley, just moved, 5813 Marion Avenue. I want to welcome Chris Dorsey, and I want to thank Andy Witt. She does a lot for Spring Creek Elementary, helping out, and especially she helped me with PTA out lately with the donut sale we're having going on. Speaking of, if you want donuts, I got $20 BOGO cards and certificates for $9. Got to turn them in by tomorrow, so if you want something, see that. Basically, I want to thank Andy Witt. She does a lot for the school, and it would have been for her. We got the paperwork out to get that stuff out, and a lot of other things she does for that school. I couldn't even, we'd be here all night trying to name everything, but that's basically all I want to say.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, Councilman Witt. Is there anyone else? I see no one else. So we'll move into communication of council members. I'll start on this side. Councilmember Witt, you have anything?
I would like to put in a plug for Kay Everett that does the classes that are over there tonight. The exercise classes, if you are a senior, you get to go there free. So I have been impressed with her class. It's very hard though. So if anybody is interested, at 6 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays, there is a class in the community center. There are things during the day that I don't get to attend, but I hope y'all will look into this and take advantage of it because it is very great for our community.
Councilmember Johnson?
I don't have anything there.
Vice Mayor Hilton?
I just want to thank Glenn and family again for believing in East Ridge and sticking with us through good times and bad, and looking forward to another 30 years.
Thank you.
Councilmember Cagle?
I'd just like to welcome Mr. Dorsey. I've known him for 4 or 5 years now. And he is going to do us a good job. I have faith in him. So, and also, I'd like to thank Mr. Meadows out there. I might missed his supper last night. I wouldn't have missed a $5 supper. I'm standing in line. I'm proud. Thank you.
Catch you next week.
All right.
I'll do it for you.
All right, I have a few things. It's been a busy week. First, Monday was a great Armed Forces Day parade downtown. We had our East Ridge JROTC proudly honored us walking and proceeding into that parade. We also had 2 officers, motorcycle officers, that was in the parade, so it was very moving. It was a very good parade. We appreciate the JROTC and our motorcycle officers. Tuesday, East Ridge High School, I call it the Construction Academy. It's now the East Ridge Institute of Building and Design. They assembled in Camp Jordan for a problem-based learning project. And the students designed and constructed duck and bat boxes, and they actually put those up and placed those in Camp Jordan. They also then had their first annual, which I don't know if you have first annuals, but an annual construction Olympic competition. We're doing nail driving, board sawing, and wheelbarrow race, and survey stake driving. So it was a great event. Another thing that was impressive is we had 16, if I'm correct, students that completed their OSHA 10 certification, and that was awesome. It's a great program that we have at East Ridge. Like I said, I call it the old Construction Academy because I've had one of my own go through that. Then Wednesday, we had a great celebration at Wally's. That was a great event. Again, can't thank him enough for what he's done and been for our city. And then today was Senior Day at East Ridge High School, and that was a very good event. It was amazing to see the students, the awards. And another thing that was amazing was the number of scholarships. There were over a half dozen full scholarships to very prestigious colleges, 4 years. Chattanooga State presented 8 scholarships. East Ridge received more than any other school in Hamilton County from Chattanooga State. And there were tons of other scholarships that were given out to the students. So it was a very good day for the seniors. Saturday, I wanted to mention, is Meet the Mayor for the month of May. And guess who my guest speaker will be? Our new city manager. So that's going to be at 10 o'clock at Local Coffee. Everyone is welcome to come. Told you I had several. May 18th, I want to put a plug in. It is Spring into Safety, correct?
Yes.
So that's going to be in Camp Jordan.
Correct.
Would you like to give a little bit, or do you want me to read? Come forward and tell us a little bit more about it. It's a great event.
This is actually the brainchild of one of our motor officers that wanted to do a safety event at Camp Jordan. And he has worked very hard. I haven't done it. He has done it all. It's Officer William Johnson. And there's going to be several events, something basically for everybody in the family. Be some, goodies to give away. And, one of the two best things that we're going to have is a device called the seatbelt condenser that we borrowed from the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. And they'll put you in that thing and drop you down a ramp to simulate a 10-mile-an-hour crash with the seatbelt on. And that's one of the things. The other thing is we have rented golf carts, it'll set up a cone course, and drivers will be able to drive the cone course in the golf cart with what's called fatal vision goggles that simulate impairment.
And this is from 10 to 2?
Into 2, correct.
Camp Jordan. Great. Wanted to get that. I know you said a media release, but I wanted to bring that and let you talk about it a little bit. Sorry for this short notice.
That's fine.
And then, lastly, also May 18th, but from 5 to 9 at Local Coffee is going to be Art in the Key of Jazz. Marguerite Anderson will be there and Kevin Roberts. It's going to be a great program. If you can make it, it's free admission, 5 to 9 Local Coffee. It's also Saturday, May 18th. I think I've covered all that I wanted to cover. Mr. Dorsey, do you have anything?
Thank you. I just want to thank all the mayor and the council for a warm welcome. For me being here on day 4. I had a little running joke with the mayor. That's day 4, and I'm here, and I'll be here tomorrow. Hopefully, you'll be here a very, very long time. So I do appreciate that. I started off the week meeting with the department heads. It's a very, very loyal, knowledgeable, and exciting group of people. And you can tell how much they care for the city and want to be able to move it forward and get things done. So I just appreciate being able to have such a good team to work with. And finally, I want to talk about the man over here on the end, Mr. Kenny Custer. I've gotten to know him over the last few weeks. I've sort of been in and out of City Hall a few times to get started on a few things. And I'm just very impressed with his knowledge, his professionalism, what he's been able to accomplish since he's been the assistant city manager is very impressive. I'm very honored to be able to work with him to help move the city forward. I told him that personally, too. I have about Mr. Custer is he's taking me to these restaurants around here and trying to fatten me up. And we'll have to work on that one. But besides that, I'm here and I'm ready to go.
I concur. I think we all saw that Kenny's done a great job, and we appreciate him keeping the ship afloat and moving it forward, and thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have 7A, report on debt obligation, purchase of fire truck.
Yes, sir. This actually relates to a fire truck that was bought in, I believe, 2010. And at that time, they did everything except the last process, which was to send this form to the state so they would approve it. And when they were approving our interfund loan, they noticed that they had never approved it. So they sent me I filled out the paperwork, they approved it, so now I'm just telling y'all that we have a debt. We actually make the last payment on it in June.
Excuse me, thank you. Getting choked up over that. But it's paid off, that's the good thing, in a couple months. All right, we have no old business, so we will move into new business, item A.
Ordinance number 1104, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, to amend the zoning regulations in the property located at 3919 Weldon Drive, tax map number 168E-M-003, from C2 General Commercial District to R1 Residential District.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, any
we have
discussion?
to have a public hearing on this first.
So,
No, sir, it'll actually be before the second reading.
yeah, if you'll notice in the agenda workshop, we've got it scheduled before the second reading on the next council meeting. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
I second.
We have a motion by Vice Mayor Hilton, a second by Councilmember Witt. Do we have any discussion? Roll call, Ms. Qualls.
Vice Mayor Melton,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Next, I would like to adjust the order of business just a bit. I would like to move items G, H, and I forward. We have some people that need to leave a bit early, so we want to move G, H, and I up in front of B with no objections. We should item G.
Resolution number 2934, a resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, approving the application for an acceptance of the Chattanooga Spay Neuter Grant.
Yes, Mayor and Council, we had asked for this to be placed on the agenda for tonight. We were contacted by Karen Walsh with Chattanooga, and they have been working with a group called Two Mods who have offered a $10,000 grant. And it's a matching grant, so we would put our additional $10,000 towards it for spay and neuters for residents of East Ridge. Our animal control staff would come up with the qualifications for the program to be able to administer, and we would work through Chattanooga to administer the funds and get the residents their spays and neuters. So $20,000 can go a long way.
Yes. Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Hilton. We have a second by Councilmember Chauncey. Do we have any discussion?
Will this $10,000 come out of next year's budget?
It can. It just depends on when we start the program. We just need to get them the approval that we will do our part with the $10,000. And we do have some funds in the grant fund for matches if we need to start early.
Any other discussion, questions? Roll call, Ms. Claus.
Vice Mayor Helton,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Wynn,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thank you. Item H.
Resolution number 2935, a resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, approving the execution and delivery of a development agreement with Sterling Holdings LLC relating to a project in the Border Region Retail Development District and authorizing certain actions relating thereto. On Tuesday night, I'll kind of start in with this. On Tuesday night, there was an IDB meeting, at which time a vote was taken on approving a development agreement with regard to Sterling Holdings LLC, which is an entity that is looking to develop the sports game multi-use, mixed-use development over on the north side of Mack Smith Road. The development agreement provided an incentive package of only state board region dollars, not city dollars, but state, of 97% of any board region dollars generated in connection with the operations. I think City Manager Dorsey, if you want to go over the numbers.
Yes, thank you. If you all look at the spreadsheet that was provided by Mr. Lynchford, if you go across, I sort of highlighted a couple columns that I just wanted to bring to your attention. And Mark, if you need to jump in, please do. Mark used the assumption going across for the project. You know, we want to be on the conservative side, so we started with what we might be expecting with a 50% build out on this project. If you look at the first highlighted section under city property taxes, right now the total combined property taxes that we are getting from those two properties is $2,193.95. You see to the left of that what the assessed value is for those two properties. If you go to the right, you will see that the new city property tax estimates will total $336,933.58. And that would be per year, and that's based upon, as I said, a 50% build out. So your appraised value goes from roughly $163,000 to $25 million for the appraised value, going from before and after. So that's a very substantial increase in city property taxes for East Ridge. If you go down to the second part here on the local option sales taxes, for the small store that they're having on Ringgold Road, the small complex there, right off Ringgold Road, the expectation was around $2 million in annual sales. That would bring in at, and if you know, local option sales tax is 2.5%. No, 2.25, I'll try the first one. 2.25. So the city, education gets half of that. So the city would realize the other half, which is 1.125%. So if you go buy a $2 million sales in the shop, that's a $22,500 increase in local option sales taxes that the city is going to get. The next column where it shows $20 million, that's with the entire complex, rest of the complex bringing in a $20 million sale every year of sales. That would equate to $225,000 in local option sales taxes per year. Both of those add together give you a total of local option sales taxes at $247,500. And like I said, that's at the $20 million sales number, which is on the conservative side. Go down to Board Region sales taxes, the next part of the spreadsheet. The left column, of course, has the small entity on Ringgold Road, $2 million in sales. Now, Board Region, we've got 4.125. The education component has already been backed out of that percentage. Okay, and with the agreement that we have here, we have 97% of the Puerto Region sales tax assigned to the entity, and the other 3% is retained by the city. If you go by that, The 2 million of sales, like I said, brings in 82,005. The 20 million brings in 825,000. So total there is about $880,000 if you see those two numbers added together. Okay, for the water region, plus the other 29,000, the line right above it. So if you add both of those numbers together, that's what gets you the total amount of sales taxes that we're bringing in. So with that again, let me make sure I said that correctly. 3% on the 20 million in sales is the 27,225 plus the 2475. So that brings you close to 30,000. The amount that will go to the entity would be the $880,000 in water region sales taxes, and that would be every year until 2042. Last but not least, the hotel motel taxes. If you assume that a room will average $25,000 a year in state income, if I'm saying that correctly, if the total number of hotel rooms was 250, that would bring in a rate of 4%. That would bring in $250,000 in hotel motel taxes to the city of East Ridge. And if there was 367 rooms we talked about, that would bring in, well, as you see, $367,000 in hotel motel taxes to East Ridge. At the assumption that you have a $25,000 turnaround in the revenue per year. So if you go to total projected annual city revenue, which is the little box at the bottom, the low projections, based on what we've talked about, we bring a total of around 814,000. A median projection, whereas if you had a $75,000 built out, would bring you closer to 1,176,000, and a high projection is 1,573,000. Of course, we like to try to stay conservative in our projections. We much rather be conservative. So those are the sort of dollars that this project we hope will bring to the city of East Ridge. Any questions?
Do you have any questions, council?
The day that I met with them, I asked them about the build out time. I said 3 to 5 years, so is that what we're basing this build out on, 75%? In 3 to 5 years, and 5 years be 100% build out?
That's essentially it. More than anything, it's just to give you sort of an optics of the perspective of what you could expect. But the short answer is yes. If you're 2.5 years, 2 years out, and they're 50% build out, this project or this spreadsheet was designed to demonstrate and reflect where the city would be with regard to the property taxes. As Mr. Dorsey said, at 50% build out, you go from $553, which is what is currently being taxed on the property up there that's actually zoned residential. You would skip up to $334,000. So that's, yes, Councilman, is essentially one way to look at it is the phase build out, and then the total build out at the end there was the purpose of having 50%, 75%, and then 100% build out.
I just like to see it done in 5 years instead of, like we got another project here, it's 10 years into the project, and it's not very far along, so.
Well, one key thing is the Border Region investment period ends in 2027. And so, I mean, they recognize, they're very well versed in it, and they recognize they've got to get their cost submitted by that point. So the investment period will essentially act as the catalyst or an additional catalyst, but my understanding is they're very motivated. One of the discussions that we've had was the ripple effect it would have. This was brought up in the IDB meeting, is the ripple effect it would have in the other portions of the community. And then the idea that he is wanting to have a community-centric sort of experience where families attend Camp Jordan all day, go to games with their families, their tournaments. They're able to leave their cars, walk over, and go to the game and entertainment over on the west side of Interstate 75 while keeping everybody there. Studies show that if you keep the families there, they tend to, the chances of them attending the game are much higher than if they go to Hamlin Place or downtown Chattanooga to eat. It's almost a 50% drop-off as to whether or not they actually decide to come back. And so the idea they want to do is keep those families in the district and walk over to the game facility location. One perhaps thing is, that came up in the IDB meeting was perhaps some confusion, as there are two projects being proposed here. This is, tonight's relates to the northwest quadrant of I-75, so on the west, so we're moving west. I think this is indicative of sort of the movement that this council has been wanting to see, is the movement west. And so this is not the Camp Jordan one that was addressed back in early April of last month. And so that's a different project. That's a practice facility, a training facility. This is the actual game stadium, 5,500 seat, I think that's right, and that was unveiled about 2 weeks ago.
I do think that they're ready to get started sooner than later. They've shown a commitment to East Ridge by investing in our youth regularly. We see regularly training sessions with the coaches and with the players and stuff with our youth. They're willing to, we're working through the conversion for the training stadium that we'd like to have located in Camp Jordan. So they have a vested interest in our city. They're committed. I'm very excited. I think they're very excited to be here, and we're very excited that they want to be here. In the border region, again, if I can reiterate, that's private property, the professional stadium in this $125 million development zone, so that's not city property that we're giving or involved in. So the city is not involved in any of the cost or development. In the border region, sales tax numbers that was mentioned, that is a reimbursable expense for their development cost, and we will then reap 3% of their return of their development for our city. That again is not, our money, the citizens and taxpayers' money that is being taken away from our general fund or any other fund that we have. So I want to reiterate that. Do we have any other discussions or questions?
I've got a question. In regards to the tax assessment, how often does the city of East Ridge assess their property value, or assess their properties? So I know for residential it might be every 3 years, but every 4 years. So we're not going to wait 4 years to reassess this property. I mean, are we going to look at it every year as it goes into different stages?
This property will be assessed on a different, because it will currently be going through a build out, similar to like Bass Road. That property was assessed after construction completion.
I can say with personal experience of building a garage, just a garage, pulled a building permit. It wasn't 2 weeks after my garage was completed. I had 2 men walking around my property trying to take pictures of it and see what's going on because they were raising my taxes.
Well, I know I'm not trying just to target just the Red Wolves project, but all the other construction that's going on around it too, we can keep a close eye on the assessment.
Absolutely.
Good, great question though, but I got it. I lived it. Any other questions? Do I have a motion to approve, or a motion?
A motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion by Councilmember Chauncey, I have a second by Vice Mayor Helton. Do we have any other discussion? Roll call, Ms. Coles.
Vice Mayor Helton,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Approved. Item I.
Resolution number 2936, a resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, approving the execution and delivery of a development agreement with JSK GP relating to a project in the Border Region Retail Development District and authorizing certain actions relating thereto. Just kind of kick starting, and then I'll turn this over to Mr. Dorsey. This is a project that is being proposed. The address is 6517 Ringgold Road. It is behind the Wally's Restaurant and in front of the Super 8. It is an 85-room Candlewood Suites, which I understand is sort of a got the extended stay aspect to it, but it is of a higher standard quality of what you're seeing. You're seeing some in downtown Chattanooga. The IDB voted unanimously to approve a border region development agreement with a split of the border region amounts of 60% to the developer, 40% to the city. And again, that's border region is just state sales tax, not local option city sales tax. So the city would receive 40% of any revenue generated relative to the property at 6517. And Mr. Dorsey has run the numbers on what the property taxes currently are and what they'll bring on a build out, as well as sort of, I think it's actually an 83 room Candlewood Suites, and so we've got the numbers based upon a $20,000 annual rate per room, 25 and 30.
Thank you. If you start at the top of that same spreadsheet we had before, where the yellow line going across on both of those, where it says Candlewood. On the first one, if you go to the very first number, that shows the current appraised value of that property, which is $340,000. The assessment brings you down to $136,000, which you get 40% of the appraised value. So our current annual property taxes on that property is $1,819.82. Okay, now I'm going to jump all the way over to the 100% part of the pad right past the shading. If you go to the expected appraised value, at 100% build out, when it's completed, if you notice the hotel and the property, the new value would be around $11.5 million. Okay, and with that, your appraised value, which is at 40%, is $4,600,000. So your annual property taxes would go to $61,552.60. So once again, your property taxes are going from $1,819.82 to $61,552.60. That would be your property tax. The bottom line we have on here just deals with hotel motel taxes. As Mr. Litchford said, if you assume again that $25,000 amount of average yearly income for that, with 83 rooms at Candlewood, your hotel motel taxes would come to $83,000 per year. And as you see, for $20,000 per room, if the rates are a little lower, you get to $66,000. If the rates are a little higher, you'd be about $99,600.
So do we have any questions? I have a few, but I'll open it up to the council first.
Only thing is the same old complaints we get. Extended stay. And people contact me, we don't want this, we don't want that. But extended stay, we had that discussion last time. What is extended stay? It come out last time that extended stay was anything that had a microwave, TV, and a refrigerator in it. And that anybody stay in it 4 or 5 days at a time. Well, I was up in Cincinnati this week, or last week, and I was standing at a Falky Inn, real nice Falky Inn. Sure enough, they had all those amenities, plus they had construction workers working in there. So that's considered extended stay. I'm looking at this picture right here. This is not going to be a budget table because there's nothing exposed to the outside. Everything is on the inside. Won't be no clothes hanging on balconies because there's not no balconies. So, personally, that might have extended stay name, but it's not.
I'll still hold my questions, but that was my point earlier. This is an IHG flagship property. I've stayed at Candlewood Suites. Part of the incentive we've got into this is it has to remain a Candlewood or equivalent. And these rooms are 130 plus per night rooms. So that's factored into the incentive as well, that it has to remain that or equivalent. You know, we talked about a water park, and we talked about a hotel associated with a water park. And what was the name of that hotel? Town Place Suites. That's an extended stay. And everyone was okay with that. So, I mean, again, to your point, Mr. Cagle, there is different levels of extended stay, and this is, I think, a much higher level, and I think that it would be well for our city, my personal opinion. Any other questions? Any other questions?
No.
So, the few that I had was, and I don't know that it was mentioned, but there are going to be some demolition of a portion of the existing.
Yeah, that's my understanding. Mr. Custer may be able to give a little more of that.
Yes, so some of the demolition that will occur, if you are familiar with the new Super 8, or the Super 8 currently, it actually is an L-shaped building. That rear portion of the lot, the northernmost portion, will be demoed along with the pool area, and I believe it was a laundry facility that sits just beyond Wally's. And then it will be, the actual lot itself and the building construction will be pushed up near the state right-of-way line. And I believe it's going to be 4 stories, 5 stories? Yeah, 5 stories.
This will be the most visible portion of exiting off of, I know my answers, but I'm just wanting everyone to hear them. So this is going to be visible right off exit 1, so it's going to be on the side toward the interstate from Super 8. Is there any other questions?
I got one.
Yes, sir.
You said it's gonna be 5 stories. I thought our code or something was just a little over 3 stories, why 4 stories, because of our fire apparatus. Do we have a fire apparatus that put us back in codes?
So it really had nothing to do with the apparatus at the time. It was actually an ordinance that was done years ago, but it was changed, I want to say, between 2012 and 2014 after the Board of Regent Act was submitted. Now there is, I want to say it's 72
with a 4-foot parapet.
Yes, 72 feet with a 4-foot parapet.
Any other questions? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2936.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Witt, second by Councilmember Chauncey. Any questions? One more time. Roll call.
Vice Mayor Melton,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Wheat,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Item approved. We will then move back to item B.
Resolution 2929, a resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, authorizing the mayor or his designee to execute the attached contract with the State of Tennessee Department of Transportation for the City of East Ridge to provide mowing services at the I-75 Exit 1 interchange, fiscal year 2019 to 2020, on a reimbursement basis.
Do we have a motion to approve 2929?
Make motion approved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Chauncey and a second by Vice Mayor Hilton. Do we have any discussion? I will say a comment, and I think Councilman Cagle, you brought this up recently about how we can renegotiate this contract.
Yeah, I asked for it, line item on cost on how many men, how many lawnmowers.
Because it's $8,800 and does not cut it,
Does not touch it.
does not touch what it cost us to keep the grass mowed.
I remember the first time we put it out for bid, the cheapest bidder we got was over $13,000. We were gonna get $8,000, so.
But I look at it, at least we can recover $8,820. So we have a motion and a second. If no other discussion, roll call.
Vice Mayor Melton,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Resolution approved. Item C.
Resolution number 2930, a resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with USA Shade and Fabric Structures for the installation of shade structures to cover 13 baseball and softball fields at Camp Jordan Park as part of the Camp Jordan renovation project.
Yes, Mayor and Council, the Camp Jordan renovation project calls for adding shade structures to cover the aluminum bleachers for the 13 baseball softball fields at Camp Jordan. Staff is recommending approving USA Shade to install shade structures for the aluminum bleachers at Camp Jordan in the amount of $134,996.98.
Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
I second.
A motion by Vice Mayor Helton, a second by Councilmember Witt. Do we have any discussion? Roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Hilton,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Resolution approved. Item D.
Resolution number 2931, a resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, authorizing the mayor or his designee to execute the attached interlocal cooperation and mutual aid agreement with the City of Chattanooga.
As Mayor and Council, this formalizes what we've been doing again, where since we are surrounded by Chattanooga, we help each other. They can call on us for assistance, we can call on them for assistance, and have often. A lot of times it has to do with traffic situations, crashes, where we will direct traffic for them while they work a wreck or vice versa, that sort of thing. But also any other call, if they need assistance or if we need assistance, that's what this agreement does.
Excellent. Do we have a motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion by Vice Mayor Helton and a second by Councilmember Chauncey. Do we have any discussion? Yes, sir.
Does this have anything to do with the fire department being part of it too, or just the police department?
It's just the police department. Okay. Yes.
I was wondering how the city of Ridgeside was there.
I think they have a different agreement.
So they will come into the city of Ridgeside on police call with y'all.
We need help, there's no doubt.
Yes, because they're right there in the middle, I think you turn quicker around.
What you may have been reading, Councilman Cagle, is on the news, is the Chattanooga Fire Department has joined Tri-State Mutual Aid. They are a member now, so if we needed resources from Chattanooga, or Chattanooga had a need for resources, we would send them assistance, and they would send us assistance. Them joining makes them the 40th fire department in the tri-state area that are members of the Tri-State Mutual Aid. It's the biggest mutual aid system in the state of Tennessee.
And those agreements are all maintained by the Mutual Aid Association. That's one benefit that the fire service has. Police services doesn't necessarily have that organization or structure like our Mutual Aid Association does related to the fire service. So all those contracts are kept up to date on a regular basis.
Any other discussion? Roll call, Ms. Walls.
Vice Mayor Hilton,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Witt,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Resolution approved. Item D.
This is resolution number 2932, a resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, awarding bids for the purchase of all-terrain side-by-side vehicles with accessories for the fire and rescue department.
I can answer that one real quick.
Yes,
One come up. We put this out for bids. The bids came in Tuesday. We're supposed to come in Tuesday, but we did not receive the bids.
Yes, sir, that's correct. My bad. We opened bids, or we met to open bids Monday at 2 o'clock. We received no bids at this time, so we would like to be able to go ahead and send bids out again. Reaching out to different salesmen across the state, making them aware that we are sending bids out So maybe it wasn't seen in advertisement or something of that nature, give them an opportunity to submit bids.
We discussed that, and the bid should be coming back in on May 20th.
Okay.
This thing needs to be pulled on the agenda.
Okay. We'll pull. So they'll rebid and have this coming on the 20th, so it'll be on, bring that one,
Yes, sir.
23rd.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Item F.
Resolution number 2933, a resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, authorizing the city to donate $500 to East Ridge Middle School for end-of-year student activities.
Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
I second.
We have a motion by Vice Mayor Hilton, and a second by Councilmember Witt. Do we have any discussion? Roll call, Ms. Walsh.
Vice Mayor Elton,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Wheeler,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. All right, we've already covered G, H, and I. We move forward 3 items from our working agenda. So item J, which was C on our working agenda.
Resolution number 2937, a resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, authorizing the city manager to approve the attached change order request form up from Integrated Properties LLC in regard to repairs and additions to the Camp Jordan Park renovation project.
Yes, Mayor, Council, the change order Mr. Litchfield is referring to is from Integrated Properties in the amount of $88,422.13 for change of orders and repairs, for repairs and additions to the overall project at Camp Jordan Park.
Do we have a motion for resolution 2937?
Motion to approve.
I second.
We have a motion by Vice Mayor Dalton, we have a second by Councilmember Witt. Do we have any discussion? One thing that I wanted to ask or reiterate is, even back with the other resolutions concerning the shade, these are all within the current $2.3 million allocated budget, correct?
It's getting very tight.
Very tight, but
We're keeping a running spreadsheet of all the expenses that we've currently expended out, and then any of the change orders that we're adding to this.
because that's in the budget amendment, so I assume that there's things that are coming out that we're not doing, and there's things that we're putting in that was included, like the shade, or these that we've uncovered that we need to
The
do.
original scope of work has, other items on there that we've kind of just taken off to maybe put in a different phase, because we realized pretty quickly that we were going to go over 2.3 million if we didn't.
Okay. It's just some concerns that I've had, concerns the citizens have, I just wanted to kind of discuss
Actually,
that.
on the capital projects fund, when we did the project, we booked Mr. Miller, when we did last year, we did 4.3 million as the amount that we would spend as an expenditure. We also did that as a revenue, if y'all chose to go all the way to do the 4 point. So we'll not have to amend the budget, because we had already put that much in there. That's why you haven't seen an amendment. And we will, we're gonna reach a point where we will go over the 2.3. And we will let you know when we hit that magic number.
I thought back when we passed this, we put on not to exceed 2.3.
Unless you had change orders.
Okay.
But we haven't exceeded it yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other discussion? We have a motion, we have a second, roll call. Ms. Coles?
Vice Mayor Elton,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Wynn,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes. Item K, which was D from our working agenda.
Resolution number 2938, a resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, authorizing the city manager to approve the attached change order request from Premier Fence LLC in regard to additional concrete work for the Camp Jordan Park renovation project.
Yes, Mayor and Council, this is the change order from the 6 o'clock meeting that is in regards to additional concrete work at Camp Jordan Park, specifically fields 1 through 4, 8 bleacher pads, and then fields 9 through 12 is concrete sidewalks that borders the perimeter of the athletic fencing.
And that totaled around
Total is
33,494.
$33,494.
Do we have a motion for item K, resolution 2938?
I make a motion to approve resolution 2938.
Do we have a second?
I'll second. I got a question though.
Yes, sir.
I noticed the dimensions on the pads that are going underneath the bleachers are 14.6 by 7. And I think that's pretty much exactly the dimensions of the bleachers themselves.
It's really close, but we've measured it out to, it should have enough to actually have the bleachers sit perfectly on the pad.
I was just trying to picture how it looks. I was kind of hoping maybe there would be a small pad coming out in front of the bleachers, maybe step up and walk on. So if you're sitting on the front row, your feet is actually sitting on your feet's on concrete.
The bleacher itself should butt right up to your current sidewalk that's at fields 1 through 4. So it should, butt right up to that, and then you have a small step to get up onto the bleachers. That's the very first step of the bleacher.
I know you mentioned that to avoid it getting muddy and things, so in fact, I thought that would help if it had a little extra concrete to come out in front there. Okay, thank you.
This should prevent that from happening. It should sit level on your bleacher pad.
Do we have any other questions? Roll call, Ms. Falls.
Vice Mayor Hilton,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Wynn,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor Councilman.
You laugh every time you say Mayor Williams.
Resolution number 2939, a resolution of the City Council of the City of East Ridge, Tennessee, authorizing the city to donate $500 to East Ridge High School for their teacher appreciation luncheon.
Do we have a motion to approve? Second.
Second.
We have a motion from Vice Mayor Hilton, a second from Councilmember Witt. Do we have any discussion? Roll call, Ms. Falls.
Vice Mayor Hilton,
Yes.
Councilmember Cagle,
Yes.
Councilmember Chauncey,
Yes.
Councilmember Wynn,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes.
Okay. The very first night, I had to call Roland and I forgot to call him.
It's okay.
And he patiently waited.
That concludes everything on the agenda. Is there anything else? Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Last council meeting, Molly took us that night to decide on the tennis courts. I've noticed they hadn't started nothing on it, so I thought they were gonna start that week. That was the urgency.
So what's going on there is we have a tree line that has several trees, a lot of brush, a lot of vines, all growing into the fence. On the property side, there's a house, I guess it's just off of Bennett Road there, and there's all kinds of debris growing into that fence. Mr. Custer asked me to get the fence painted. So before we paint the fence, we need to remove all that tree line and the brush and all that good stuff, because all it's doing is growing into our tennis courts and into the fence line, and then we didn't want to resurface the court until we did all of that stuff, because then it would just, it would be counterproductive to what we're trying to do, is make the facility look better. So we want to remove the tree line, paint the fence, and resurface the court all before July 1st.
So the holdup is us.
Sir?
So the holdup is us.
Yeah, we had to get bids on getting the trees removed.
Right, and so I've
We're
got,
gonna do that ourselves.
they're large trees. So we have two
Some of them
bids.
are dead.
We just have to get our man, move that from under there.
We have two bids for tree service, or tree cutting service, and the third one is on the way. I just haven't received the email, and I've got another guy that's wanting to bid on it tomorrow. So as soon as we get that done, then we'll be able to get the trees cut, get the fence painted, and then we'll resurface the courts.
I have a question, and I don't mean to put Mr. Allen on the spot, but can you provide us an update on our in-car radios?
They're all installed.
And that's great news.
They're working great.
So all of our police patrol vehicles now have in-car radios as well.
Yep.
Great news. If nothing else, we'll adjourn this meeting. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.